In this question it is given that there is a class in which a teacher made a list of all the students who play the three games cricket, chess and football. So 28% of the students play both cricket and chess. So whenever you're looking at this kind of a question where a student can play more than one game, where there is an overlap of the games that students can play, you should understand that this is a Venn diagrams question. And in this case there are three parameters. The three parameters are which of the students play cricket, chess and football. So let us first draw the three circles. Circles are the best way to represent data in a Venn diagram, where each circle represents the number of students that play a particular game. So for example, this is cricket, this is chess and this is football. So each of the circle represents the number of students who play the game, and whenever there is an overlap, for example in this case, this is the overlap between the students who play both cricket as well as chess. Similarly, this is the overlap of the number of students who play both football as well as cricket. And this is the overlap of the students who play both chess as well as football. And in the middle, as you can see, this area is the overlap between all the three circles. This represents all the students who play all the three games. So if you look at it, we are told that 28% of the students play both cricket and chess. So if you assume that the number of students who play all the three games is say G, the number of students who play only cricket and chess is 28 minus G. Now whenever you are filling up all the 7 areas of overlap, that is this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and we have already filled up 2 of the areas. So if you can fill up and if you can understand what each of the 7 numbers represents, you will be able to solve the Venn diagrams very easily. So in this case, the most important thing that we should do is try to understand and try to calculate the values of each of the 7 numbers. There will be different information that will be given which will help us in finding out the values of the 7 numbers. So we assume that the number of students who play all the 3 games is G. So the number of students who play only chess and cricket and not football is 28 minus G. Over here we are calculating everything in terms of percentages. We are also told that 10% of the students play none of the 3 games. So outside the 3 circles, there are 10% of the students. They are not part of any of the 3 circles. We are also told that 38% of the students play exactly 2 of the 3 games. Now out of these 7 areas that we described, 3 areas are part of the number of students who play exactly 2 out of the 3 games. So this is 28 minus G is one of them. If you assume that the number of students, the percentage of students who play only cricket and football and not chess is A, the total number of students who play 2 of the 3 games will be 28 minus G and A, that is 28 plus A minus G using these 2 areas. There is one more area over here which represents the number of students who play only 2 games. And this area is the overlap between chess and football but not cricket. So we can easily find out that the value of this area will be 38 minus 28 plus A minus G. So this will equal 10 plus G minus A. So this is equal to 10 plus G minus A. Notice that if you sum 10 plus G minus A plus 28 minus G plus A, the value will be 38. This is what we have just calculated. 52% of the students play chess. So the total number of people who play chess is 52%. 56% of the students do not play cricket. Now this would imply that the percentage of students who play cricket will be 100 minus 56, so that is equal to 44. And 46% of the students play football, so this is 46. We are also told that 28 students play all the 3 games. Here there is an important thing, you shouldn't make a mistake. Here we are given the actual number of students, we are not given the percentage. We assume that G is the percentage of students who play all the 3 sports. We are told that G percent actually equals 28. So we'll keep this information aside for the moment. We'll try to calculate the values of each of the 7 areas that we described in percentages. Then we'll try to, if we can calculate the value of G, we'll understand that G percent of the total number of students is 28. Using this, we can calculate the total number of students. But let us do the first step. That is, we'll try to understand what is the value of each of the 7 areas that we have just described. Because the total number of students who play cricket is 44, we will calculate the number of students who play only cricket first. So if you calculate the other 3 areas, that is 28 minus G plus G is 28, 28 plus A is 28 plus A. So the percentage of students who play only cricket will be 44 minus 28 plus A, so that will be 16 minus A. Similarly, we know that chess is played by 52%. We will calculate the percentage of students who play only chess. So, we will again calculate the sum, that is 28 minus G plus G is 28. 28 plus 10 plus G minus A will be, this is equal to 38 plus G minus A. So, the percentage of students who play only chess will be 52 minus of this. So, this will be 14 plus A minus G. So, this is 14 plus A minus G. And lastly, we will calculate the percentage of students who play only football. We are told that the total percentage of students who play football is 46. So, we will calculate the sum of the other three areas. This is A plus G plus 10 plus G minus A will be, so you can cancel A. So, this will be 10 plus 2G. We will subtract this from 46. So, this will be 36 minus 2G. So, in terms of A and G, we have filled out the values of all the 7 areas which are overlapping between these 3 circles. Now, we know that the total of these 7 areas is 90. Why is it 90? Because the total percentage of students in the class is 100%, of which we know that 10% of the students play none of the 3 games. So, the sum of all the remaining 7 has to be 90. So, let us calculate the sum in terms of A and G and equate it to 90. So, the sum of the 7 areas are 16 minus A, this is the first one, plus 28 minus G plus G, this is the second, third, plus A, which is the fourth, plus 14 plus A minus G, this is the fifth, plus 10 plus G minus A, this is the sixth, plus 36 minus 2G. What we have just discussed is that the sum of these 7 numbers will equal 90. So, you can simplify this, you can cancel all the terms which are in negative and positives. So, if you simplify this, you will get that this is 16 plus 28, that is 44, 44 plus 14 is 58, 58 plus 10 is 68, 68 plus 36 is 98 plus 6, which is 104. So, 104 minus 2G is equal to 90, or G is equal to 14 by 2, that is 7%. So, we were able to calculate the value of G, but we have not been able to calculate the value of A. But still we can draw the circle and try to fill in the details that we know, as many details as possible. Then we will also equate that G%, that is the common number of students, is equal to 28. Using that we can calculate the total number of students. So, in terms of percentages, the 3 circles will look like this. We are just drawing the same circles again, we are just replacing the value of G. This is cricket, this is chess, and this is football. The overlap of all the 3 circles is 7, we have just calculated. The percentage of students who play only cricket and chess is 28 minus G, so that will be 21. The percentage of students who play only football is 36 minus 2G, so that is 36 minus 14, this is equal to 22. Now, in all the others, we need the value of A. We don't know the value of A, so we will just assume it to be A. So, this will be A. The percentage of students who play only cricket is 16 minus A. The percentage of students who play only chess is 14 plus A minus G, so that is A plus 7, because 14 minus G is 7. And the percentage of students who are common between chess and football but not cricket is 10 plus G minus A. As G is equal to 7, this will be 17 minus A. So, this is the information that we have. We also know that G%, that is 7%, is 28. So, the total number of students in the institute will be 400. Why is this 400? Because 7% of X is equal to 28. Therefore, X is equal to 28 by 7%, this is equal to 400. We have initially assumed the percentage to be 100%. Using that we got G value as 7. So, we should just multiply it by 4. So, this is what we know. This is the Venn diagram in terms of percentages. We also know that 10% of the students have not played any of the 3 sports. and we also know that the total number of students is 400. Now let us try to solve the questions that follow. What is the number of students who play none of the three games? We already know, it was already given to us, that the percentage of students is 10%. We know the total number of students of the school is 400. So the number of students who play none of the three games is 10% of 400. This is equal to 40. What is the number of students who play only football? We already know that the percentage of students who play only football is 22%, and the total number of students in the institute is 400. So it should be 22% of 400, which is 88. If 17% of the students play cricket and football, so between cricket and football the overlap is 17%. The percentage of students who play football and chess is, so we need to find out the percentage of students who play football and chess. So the percentage of students who play cricket and football is equal to, so cricket and football will be A plus 7. That is the intersection of these two areas. This is A and this is 7. So A plus 7 is given as 17%. So A is 10%. What we are required to find out is the percentage of students who play football and chess. The intersection between football and chess will be this. This is equal to 7 plus 17 minus A. This is equal to 24 minus A. We need to calculate this. We already have calculated that A is equal to 10. So 24 minus A will be 14%. Again, just make sure that you are asked the percentage. If they had asked for the number of students, it will be 14% of 400, which is 56. The number of students who play exactly one of the three games is. So we need to find out the number of students who play exactly one of the three games. So that is, cricket is 16 minus A. This is the number of percentage of students who play only one cricket. Percentage of students who play only chess is A plus 7. And percentage of students who play only football is 22. The sum of these three is, you can cancel A. So 16 plus 7 is 23, plus 22 is 45%. Again, just make sure whether you are asked the number or the percentage. Here you ask the number of students. So this will be 45% of 400. This is equal to 180. That's the answer. In this question, there was a shopkeeper. He went on a tour, and before going on a tour, he asked his 3 servants to come and take care of the shop. He told them that every day at least one of them has to come. So when you are seeing a word like at least, you know that there is an overlap. What I mean by overlap is there can be either one servant or 2 servants or 3 servants. So whenever you see this kind of a question where there is an overlap between parameters, this is most likely a Venn diagrams question. So after the shopkeeper returned, he asked the servants to go through the register and figure out how many days did each of the servant come. So let us draw a Venn diagram first. So this Venn diagram has 3 parameters representing each of the 3 servants. So this is Ram, this is Shyam, and this is Ramesh. Now each of the circles represents the days in which a servant has come, and the one in the middle where there is an overlap between all the 3 circles are the number of days in which all the 3 servants have come. In this case, where there is an overlap between Ram and Shyam, it is the number of days in which only 2 of them have come, and so on. So now let us look at the clues that have been given. After n days, so the total number of days the shopkeeper was away is n. Ram said that on 60 days Ramesh and Shyam were present. So Ramesh and Shyam, the overlap has 2 areas. One area is obviously the overlap where all the 3 of them were present, and this is the area where there is a dot now is the area where only Ramesh and Shyam have come. It has been mentioned that the sum of these 2 is 60. So let us assume that the number of days in which all 3 of them have come is A, and the number of days in which only Ramesh and Shyam have come is B. On these, in these 2 areas, the total number of days that Ramesh and Shyam have come is represented. So A plus B is equal to 60. Now Ram also said that on 44 days, Shyam was present but Ramesh was not. So now let us look at the areas which are represented by the days in which Shyam was present but Ram was not. This also has 2. This is 1 and this is 2. The sum of these two is 44. So again let us assume that this is C and this is D. We know that C plus D is equal to 44. Now Shyam said that on 44, there were 44 days in which Ramesh was present but Ram was not. So again let us try to identify the areas where Ramesh was present and Ram was not. So this area and this area are the two areas in which Ramesh was present and Ram was not. We are told that the sum of these two is 44. Therefore, the area in which only Ramesh was present is 44 minus B. And the opposite was true on 37 days. So now let us try to identify the areas in which Ram was present but Ramesh was not. We are told that the sum of these two is 37. Now those areas are represented by these two areas wherever there is a dot. So once, because we know that one of the area is represented by C, the other one will be 37 minus C. Ramesh said that the number of days on which both Ram and Shyam were present is 53. So Ram and Shyam, both of them were present on 53 days. Now let us try to identify again the areas where there is an overlap between Ram and Shyam. So the area between Ram and Shyam is A plus C. So we know that A plus C is equal to 53. He also said that on 34 days, Ram was present but Shyam was absent. So we need the areas where Ram was present and Shyam was absent. This we are told is 34. Now if you again look at the areas, it will be this one and this one. The sum of these two is 34. Therefore you know that the smaller area is C minus 3. Why is this C minus 3? Because that will equal 34 minus 37 minus C. If you simplify this, you are going to get C minus 3. Now finally Ramesh added that on 31 days both of them were absent. Now both of them were absent on 31 days. This would imply that the only area out of these 7 areas where both Ram and Shyam were absent is 44 minus B. That is the day on which only Ramesh worked. Now we are told that 44 minus B is equal to 31. So this would imply that B is equal to 13. So you can find out the values of the other variables. So because B is equal to 13, A will be 60 minus B, so that will equal 47. And because A is equal to 47, C is equal to 53 minus A, so C is equal to 6. And because C is 6, D will equal 44 minus 6, which is equal to 38. So now you have gotten the values of each of the areas, and each of the areas represents which person was working on those particular days. So let us draw these circles again with the simplified numbers by removing the variables. So this is Ram, this is Shyam, and this is Ramesh. Now let us first fill up the area where all three of them were working. That is A. Now we know that A is equal to 47. So this is equal to 47. Now the days, number of days in which only Ram was working is 37 minus C. Now because C is 6, 37 minus C is 31. Similarly, the days in which only Shyam was working is D, and we know that D is equal to 38. Now let us look at the number of days in which only Ramesh was working. Only Ramesh was working on 44 minus B, and B is 13. So this is equal to 31. Now let us look at the days on which Ram and Shyam were working but not Ramesh. That is equal to C, and we know that C is equal to 6. So this is equal to 6. Now let us look at the number of days in which Ram was working and Ramesh was working but not Shyam. That is represented by C minus 3. And again because C is 6, C minus 3 will be 3. Now the final area that is left out is the number of days where Shyam and Ramesh were working but not Ram. That is represented by B, and B is equal to 13. So let us input 13 here. So now we have the completed Venn diagram. Now we know exactly the number of days in which each of them was working. So now let us try to go and answer the questions. What is the total number of days Ram was present in the shop? So the number of days that Ram was present in the shop is 31. These are the number of days in which only Ram was working. Plus 6. These are the number of days in which Ram and Shyam were working but not Ramesh. Plus 3. This is the number of days in which Ram and Ramesh were working but not Shyam. Plus 47. These are the number of days in which all three of them were working. And this will equal 31 plus 6 plus 3 is 40 plus 47 is 87. Now let us go to the next question. What is the total number of days on which Shyam was present on the shop? The total number of days Shyam was present in the shop is 38. These are the number of days in which he worked alone. Plus 6, the number of days where Ram and Shyam were working but not Ramesh. Plus 13, this is when Shyam and Ramesh were working but not Ram. Plus 47, when all three of them were working. So 47 plus 13 is 60. 60 plus 44 is 104. So the answer is 104. What is the total number of days on which Ramesh was present in the shop? Again, we'll do the same thing. It will be 31 plus 3 plus 47 plus 13. 47 plus 13 again is 60. 60 plus 34 is 94. Now let us look at the last question. What is the total number of days on which all three servants were present in the shop? This is represented by the area where all the three circles overlap, and this is equal to 47. So as you can see, once you get the diagram correct and once you interpret all the clues given correctly, you will most likely get the Venn diagrams questions correct.